if this is the truth and you want me to be Muslim, give me a sign. He goes, if I saw an ant crawling, I would have said, that's a sign. Nothing happened. He goes, I thought the curtains would swirl. He goes, anything. Nothing. So he goes, after about 5-10 minutes of waiting, I said, okay, God, I'm going to give you 5 more minutes. And he literally said, I said, okay, I'll wait another 5 minutes. He goes, nothing happened. And then he turned back to where he had stopped reading. And the next ayah says, don't you see in the order of the heavens and the earth and the creation that is within yourself a sign to mankind? And he goes, it was like someone electrocuted me. It was like I got a jolt. Whoa, that's the sign.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ketemu lagi di channel AdamaEntertainment, channelnya tentang video Islam dan juga kisah mu'alaf. Sebelum mulai, jangan lupa untuk like dan juga subscribe ya. Tanpa panjang lebar, ayo kita saksikan.
Storytelling. Inshallah. I have a person who I met maybe 10 years ago. Tall guy. When I first went to Australia to lecture about Islam, I was there on a tour, and there was this tall 6 foot something Skip. He's like Skippy. He's an Aussie, white Australian, 15th generation Australian, if there is. And I said, oh, he goes, Assalamualaikum. I said, how are you? He goes, my name's Abu Bakr. I was like, Abu Bakr, mashallah. When did you become Muslim? He goes, oh, I've been Muslim for like 4 or 5 years now, alhamdulillah. I said, what brought you to Islam? He goes, oh, it's kind of a long story. And now we were getting on a flight. So he tells me a story on the flight. It's one of the most amazing stories I've ever heard. I encouraged him to make a video, like to lecture it and get it recorded and put on YouTube. So you can actually find it, his version on YouTube. He leaves some things out just because, anyway, I'll tell you the real story. Abu Bakr was at Monash University in Melbourne. He goes, I saw this hot girl. You know it's going to be a juicy story when it starts like that, right? I saw this girl. She looked nice. So I walked over to her. I said, hey, how you doing? She goes, hey, who are you? He goes, oh, no, I'm just wanted to say hi. What's your name? She goes, don't talk to me. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm a Muslim. He goes, yeah, me too. She's like, what? Now this is before 9/11, right? Like Islam wasn't, like everyone knows Islam, like kind of thing. He's like, yeah, me too. She's like, you're not Muslim. He goes, how do you know? She goes, I know if you're Muslim. He goes, okay. Okay, I want to be Muslim. How about you make me Muslim? She goes, listen, I'm not going to continue with this conversation, right? If you really want to be Muslim, you'd go to the mosque. He goes, where's the mosque? She goes, in Coburg. He goes, oh, okay, yeah, I know where that. Oh, yeah, I know where that is. That building with that thing, the minaret, that thing. She goes, yeah, that's the one. So she ran away. He goes, like she ran. And he goes, every now and then I'd see her from a distance. I'd say, hi, Muslim, right? That kind of thing. And every time she'd see me, she'd just run. He goes, and one night I thought, what is this whole Muslim thing? This is before Google. He said, let me just go down and see. He goes, it was like late at night. It was like 10. He said, I'll do a drive-by just to see like what's happening. He goes, I drove and there were like 1,000 cars. There was like 5,000 people in that mosque at 10 o'clock at night. And he goes, I said to myself, wow, these Muslims are really dedicated like people, man. Let me just park and see what are they doing. So he walks, in. Now, if you've been to Melbourne, that area, Coburg and Preston, that Preston Mosque there's some brothers there who look rough. Big beards, ex-boxers, football players who just look rough, but soft like marshmallows on the inside, right? He goes, I walked in, and as soon as I walked in, I had like 10 guys with big beards looking at me and surround me. And one of them came up and said, hey, how you going, mate? Where you from? I said, oh, okay. Who are these guys? He goes, I'm Andrew. I just wanted to come here to be Muslim. He goes, I said that naturally. I didn't like really mean it. I just came to be Muslim. He goes, oh, that's good. He goes, take your shoes off. I go, take my shoes off? So I took my shoes off. And he goes, I just did what they said because I didn't want him to kill me. So I took my shoes off. And they're all surrounding me, and they're all talking about Arabic kind of stuff. And the next thing I know, I enter this big hall, and everyone turns around and looks at me, and they go, he's come to be Muslim. And everyone's like, Takbir! Now, it is the second night of Ramadan. He goes, they were singing, but the guy stopped singing. And they kept pushing me, and everyone's like touching me and stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm in the front, and I'm looking at all these people, and they're all smiling at me. And the guy says, repeat after me. So I said, okay, what am I saying? He goes, say, ashhadu. So I say, ashhadu. He goes, and as soon as I say that, everyone's like, Takbir! And people just start kissing me. Hugging me and kissing me, and I was like, okay, I just want to get out of here before I die. Right? So I get kissed and I move back. He goes, I get out of the mosque, and as soon as I get there, I see that girl. She's looking down because the second story is for women, and she goes, you are Muslim. I goes, yeah, I told you. Right? So he walks out, and they gave him a Quran. And he goes, I went home. I'm like, I don't know what just happened. He goes, I got home, and I put the Quran on the shelf, and I didn't look at it for a week or two. And I thought to myself, well, let me just, open it, see what's in it. And he goes, I opened it randomly, and I started to read. And I don't know how long I was reading for. I was reading for a long time in English. Just a long time. It was just mesmerizing. And something told me in my heart, that's it. This is it. He said, so I said out loud, okay, God, if this is the truth and you want me to be Muslim, give me a sign. He goes, if I saw an ant crawling, I would have said, that's a sign. Nothing happened. He goes, I thought the curtains would swirl. He goes, anything. Nothing. So he goes, after about 5-10 minutes of waiting, I said, okay, God, I'm going to give you 5 more minutes. And he literally said, I said, okay, I'll wait another 5 minutes. He goes, nothing happened. And then he turned back to where he had stopped reading. And the next ayah says, don't you see in the order of the heavens and the earth and the creation that is within yourself a sign to mankind? And he goes, it was like someone electrocuted me. It was like I got a jolt. Whoa, that's the sign. And he said, I went back to the mosque and I told them, look, I want to be Muslim like properly. And he goes, they sat me in the office, they talked to me, and I became Muslim. Now here's the thing. A year later, he asks for that same girl's hand in marriage and now has 4 children, mashallah. Right? It's amazing, right?